الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. So, continuing from where we left off in Shaykh Muhammad ibn Salih al-Uthaimeen's explanation of Aajrummiyyah, Aajrummiyyah, the explanation of Ibn al-Ajurrum's text on Arabic grammar, and we have reached the point where Ibn al-Ajurrum says الإعراب هو, which is basically Bab al-I'rab, the chapter relating to the changes in the endings of the words, word endings, which signify a particular change in meaning. Ibn al-Ajurrum, he said, الإعراب هو تغيير أواخر الكلم لاختلاف العوامل الداخلة عليها لفظا أو تقديرا. لفظا أو تقديرا we're going to explain today, but before we explain that, my brothers, please tell me, inshallah, what is the significance of this lam over here, lam التعليلية لاختلاف العوامل الداخلة عليها. He said that i'rab is the changes that take place at the end of the words, and then I'm not going to translate the rest. I'll say لاختلاف العوامل الداخلة عليها. I want you brothers to explain that last part, please. It's a short class, so if we could be swift, that would be good. Is my sound coming through okay? Okay, how about the answer then to the question? See, because you can hear me, alhamdulillah. What is the significance of this part of the sentence where he said لِاخْتِلَافِ الْعَوَامِلِ الدَّاخِلَةِ عَلَيْهَا? What is the significance of this lam التعليلية? نعم. عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Anyone answer? He said that i'rab is the changes that take place at the endings of words لاختلاف العوامل الداخلة عليها. Okay? Absolutely, Abu Abdullah, Jazakallah khair. Because he says i'rab is the changes that take place to the end, to the word endings, due to the entrance or the entering of a cause or a causer or an actor upon the next word. And this is why those changes take place. And this is specifically about i'rab, not the changes that take place, as Abu Abdullah just said, due to dialect change, for example. The dialect change, as some Arabs say haythu, some say haytha, the فتحة instead of a dhamma at the end. Some say haythi, the kسرة instead of a dhamma or a فتحة at the end. So these are word endings being changed. But they're not being changed because of an عامل الداخل عليها, or something that has entered upon the word to make it change. Nothing significant has changed haythu to haytha or haythi in these examples. Nothing beyond the dialect of the Arabs. Their particular dialect in different regions, they are speaking in slightly different ways. Okay, so we are dealing directly with those word endings. Now we understood that, inshallah, and explained. Shaykh Uthaimeen explained it quite well. Then we come to the part over here. Shaykh Uthaimeen explains it completely well. Okay, he fully explains it, gives the examples, and word for word, he exemplifies every point. And then he says, focusing on the part of Ibn al-Ajurrum's speech, لفظا أو تقديرا. Okay, Ibn al-Ajurrum said at the end of the sentence, the changes that we are talking about, they are either لفظا أو تقديرا. This is changes that take place physically and you can witness them and pronounce them and hear them. That's lafzan. Or taqdeeran, that those changes at the end of the words are taking place, but you can't see them for a particular reason, and the Shaykh is going to explain what the reason is. Alright, so lafzan, he says, the changes, Shaykh Uthaimeen says, the changes take place. Meaning, sometimes they take place by actual wording, sometimes they are implied. The changes are implied, they're implicit. Okay. Shaykh explains, he says, فَإِنْ كَانَ الْحَرْفُ الْأَخِيرُ صَحِيحًا فَالتَّغْيِيرُ لَفْظِي وَإِنْ كَانَ مُعْتَلًّا فَالتَّغْيِيرُ تَقْدِيرِي. لَفْظِي, تَقْدِيرِي. Again, these are the two issues that we're dealing with. لَفْظًا وَتَقْدِيرًا. Shaykh again, he speaks about them in this area by saying, one change is lafzi, the other one is taqdeeri. Shaykh says, if the last letter of that word is sahih, this is not sahih as opposed to da'if. This is sahih as opposed to mu'tal. Okay, so you might say similar. This is like, just to give you some basic comparison, the difference of the vowels in the English language compared to the consonants. Okay, the vowels might be considered to be soft letters, whereas the consonants are considered to be hard letters. So all of the letters of the Arabic language except alif, waw and ya. Except alif, waw and ya, some refer to them as huruf al-mad, depending on where they appear in the word. All of the letters are sahih letters. Okay, they produce their own sound, except these ones, mu'tal, alif, waw, and ya. Now, if the letter at the end of a word is an alif or a waw or a ya, then sometimes certain vowel points, like for example the dhamma, is not going to be able to be pronounced. For example, جاء علي وعيسى. جاء علي وعيسى. جاء, this is the verb, فعل ماضي, okay? And علي, this is the fa'il, alright? The one who came, and he has, what do you see at the end of his name? The last letter, what does it have? It has tanween. What kind of tanween does it have? Naam, dhamma. So it has dhammatayn. It's marfu', exactly. Why is it marfu'? Because it is, as it relates to the fi'l, it is fa'il. Ahsant. It is fa'il. Okay. And also, وعيسى, absolutely. So علي وعيسى. Isa also takes the same ruling as Ali in that he is also the one who came. Okay, so we might say that Isa is fa'il, or we might say he is badal from Ali. But regardless, the ending of his word is that his name is that he is also marfu'. He also takes the ruling of being marfu'. He is rafa'. Okay, but where is the dhamma? This letter at the end of his name, which looks like a ya, what is it actually called, brothers? It's called, yes, alif maqsura. It's called alif maqsura. Okay, so this is an alif. Absolutely, ahsant, Afi Hussein. So alif maqsura, this at the end of the name, Isa, there's no way that you can pronounce a dhamma at the end of that name. So we say, Isa fa'il, marfu'. Yes? Okay, so where's the dhamma? The Shaykh's going to explain how to describe this situation. علي مضموم لأن آخره حرف صحيح. عيسى غير مضموم بل ساكن لأن الألف حرف علة. Okay. Isa doesn't take a dhamma on it, it takes a sukoon on it. Isa takes a sukoon because the alif is a weak letter or harfu illa. Another example. رأيت عليا وعيسى. I saw Ali and I saw Isa. عليا, this is مفعول به. The end of the name has changed to a فتحة. Before, in the previous example, it was with a dhamma, madhmoom. In this example, it is mansoob. It is mansoob. Okay? Isa, however, hasn't changed. Ja'a Aliyun wa Isa. Here, Ra'aytu Aliyan, Aliyan changed. Wa Isa, Isa hasn't changed. Because لم يتغير لأن آخره حرف علة. Because it is a weak letter at the end of the name. Third example, مررت بعلي وعيسى. I passed by Ali and Isa. These are مجرور or مخفوض because of the حرف الجر. علي تغير إلى الخفض. عيسى لم يتغير. Isa didn't change. إذن علي معرب لأنه تغير آخره باختلاف العوامل. وعيسى معرب لأنه يتغير آخره تقديرا. Both of these words are mu'rab. Both of these words, they can have the end, the last letter, the vowel point at the last letter changing. Both of them can be changed. One of them, both of them are changing because of their state and their status and their position in the sentence. Yet one of them is changing in something that you can physically see, which is Ali, and the other one is changing because of the other one is changing though you cannot see it. So one is lafz and one is taqdeer. Okay, one is lafzi, one is taqdeeri. So the Shaykh continues and says, Akhi Abu Abdullah, you're asking, what is the reason for mansoob in the second example? The example over here, brother, ra'aytu, ra'a, this is the fi'l madi, that's the verb. The dhamir muttasil, dhamir al-raf' muttasil, means that's the fa'il. Aliyan, this is maf'ulun bihi. This is the one that was seen. I saw, what did I see? What's the object? Aliyan and Isa. This is the reason why it's mansoob. So the person doing the action is marfu'. The person having the action done upon him without any harful jar is going to be mansoob. Okay? In the third example, marartu bi, because of the harful jar, that word takes a kasrah. Is that clear? Okay. So the Shaykh says, إذن, in conclusion, therefore, الإعراب تغيير أواخر الكلم. إعراب means changing the endings of the word. فخرج بقوله تغيير ما لا يتغير آخره لا لعلة لكن لبناء. نعم. The Shaykh says تغيير أواخر الكلم. So Ibn al-Aajrummiyyah, he said when he's explaining i'rab, he says i'rab is when the endings of the word is changed. So Shaykh Uthaimeen says the fact that Ibn al-Aajrummiyyah said change, that means there are some words that don't change. Okay? There are some words that don't change at their end, not because of a particular reason, because of a weakness as in the case of Isa, but because those words are mabni, they are fixed or fixated or constant. Okay? There are some words, they have been placed in a particular form in the Arabic language, they never change. Right? Like for example, the huruf. The huruf, they are fixed, they don't change. Okay. So, تغيير أواخر الكلم excludes everything that doesn't change at the end without a weakness. Without a weakness, which means the bina and the dhama'ir, yes. Yes. And this is mabni, exactly. Also, what has been excluded here is the words that have changes in their beginnings and in their middles. Okay? Words that have variations and changes at the beginning of the word and the middle of the word. This is nothing to do with النحو or الإعراب. فلا مبحث فيه في علم النحو بل يبحث فيه في علم الصرف. This is an area of morphology, word patterns, and how words are formed. لاختلاف العوامل, because of the various actors upon the word, خرج به ما إذا تغير آخر الكلمة. What is excluded here is that which changes at the end of the letter, end of the word, باختلاف اللغات, due to changes in dialect. Due to changes in dialect. This is not considered to be إعراب. As an example again, حيث مبنية على الضم. But this is fixed. مبنية, fixed. It's constant. Constantly remains upon the dhamma. Doesn't change wherever it is in the sentence. Doesn't change. So this is how that word is created, and it stays like that. And yet, some Arabs, they pronounced it with فتحة, haytha. Others pronounced it with the kasrah, haythi. Each of them, yabniha. Each of them fixing it. Each of them fixing it upon a particular ending. Some of them mabni ala al-dhamma, others mabni ala al-fatha, others mabni ala al-kasrah. Okay. This is because of the difference of dialect, Shaykh Uthaimeen says, not because of difference of اختلاف العوامل, because of the different words that act upon this word. Is that clear, inshallah? لفظا وتقديرا. Again, Shaykh explains, يعني أن التغيير قد يكون لفظا وقد يكون تقديرا. Meaning that yes, the change could be physical, one that you can actually see, and it could be one which is implied. Okay. It is lafdan when the last letter of the word is a harf sahih. It is taqdeeran when the last letter is harf illah. Okay. Example. مثلا قام محمد. قام. This is فعل ماضي. This is فعل ماضي. محمد. This is فاعل. And the fa'il, as you know, what is the ruling as it relates to the fa'il in Arabic grammar? What do we say about the fa'il? The fa'il is always, نعم يا أخي. The fa'il is always مرفوع. الله يبارك فيك. So fa'ilun marfu'. Okay. What is the sign on this name Muhammadun that shows us, that proves to us that it is marfu'? What is the alama? Alama raf'ihi. Yes. Alama raf'ihi, the sign of it being marfu' is the dhamma at the end of his word, at the end of his name. Okay. Is that dhamma visible? Is it in view? Is it pronounceable? It is. Absolutely, Abu Abdullah, jazakallah khair. Okay. So, fa'ilun marfu'un wa alamatu raf'ihi, the sign and the proof of it being marfu' dhammatun, it's a dhamma, and it is dhahiratun, is apparent, the akhiri. Okay? Remember that line, This is how to describe the i'rab of a fa'il. فاعل مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ضمة ظاهرة في آخره. Remember that line, brothers? If you can write it down, take a screenshot, or in any way, take a picture of it. Remember, when you are describing and giving the i'rab of a fa'il, then this is how to do it, and this is how to do it if the fa'il has the last letter to be harf sahih. Okay. Shaykh says this is the case لأن آخره حرف صحيح. لأن آخره حرف صحيح. Shaykh gives another example. قام عيسى. Okay. قام فعل ماضي. The same past tense. عيسى. Again, it's fa'il. Again, it's marfu'. And now we want the proof. What is the sign showing that this is marfu'? Shaykh says, وَعَلَامَةُ رَفْعِهِ ضَمَّةٌ مُقَدَّرَةٌ. ضَمَّةٌ مُقَدَّرَةٌ, which is an implied dhamma. Is the dhamma on the word Isa? Can you see it? Can you see a dhamma on Isa? You can't see it. Can you hear it? Can you hear the dhamma on Isa? Qama Isa. You can't see it, neither can you hear it. It doesn't exist. But it exists in implicit form. Because this word is in the position of the sentence, which makes it a fa'il, one who did the action, and in the Arabic language there is a constant rule that the fa'il is marfu'. The fa'il is marfu'. Okay? And this type of a name, a short name like this, which is not, for example, a name including two people, which is muthanna, it's not a name which is jam' mudhakkar salim, so it hasn't got any other reason to have a different sign of it showing it's proving itself as a fi'l. So its sign of being marfu' is dhamma, but that dhamma is not physically able to be seen. So it is muqaddara. Muqaddara, where is it muqaddara? Where do you imply that this dhamma is? On the alif. Okay? So why is it not there, brothers? This is the question. Why is the dhamma not there? Okay, that's in general, but why is it that okay, I got you guys. I see what you're saying about Abdullah. It's harf illa. Fine. It's not because it's a non-Arab name, Afi Hussein. It's because the last letter is an alif. Okay. But what's the actual logical reason why the dhamma is not there? The logical reason, not the ruling. No, akhi, Muzammil, it's not mamnu' min as-sarf. That's not the issue here. It's the issue of the ability, not even the ease, Abu Abdullah. It's the ability to pronounce a dhamma. Is it possible to pronounce a dhamma on an alif that has a sukoon on it? On an alif, in any case? Is it possible to pronounce a dhamma on that alif? Isa. Is it physically possible to pronounce a dhamma at the end of that word, Isa? Isa, you can't. It's not possible. It's impossible. It is, as we say in Arabic language, muta'adhir. It is muta'adhir. It's impossible. It's physically impossible. Okay, so Shaykh Uthaimeen explains, and he says, فاعل مرفوع علامة رفعه ضمة مقدرة على الألف منع من ظهورها التعذر. It was prevented from appearing due to impossibility. That dhamma was prevented from appearing due to impossibility. Is that clear? Okay. Shaykh says, فَتَغْيِيرُ فَتَغَيَّرَ آخِرُهُ. لكن تقديرا, the end of the word Isa changed, but implicitly, not explicitly, not a physical change that you could witness, but implied, because we know that this is in holding the position of fa'il. For that reason we say ضمة مقدرة على الألف منع من ظهورها التعذر. Okay? لأنه يتعذر, because it's impossible. Brothers, I want you to memorize that line as well along with the second line. That when there is an alif at the end of a word, and that word is supposed to take a alamat i'rab, whether it be a dhamma or a fatha or a kasrah, you should say علامة رفعه أو علامة نصبه أو علامة جره ضمة مقدرة أو فتحة مقدرة أو كسرة مقدرة منع من ظهورها التعذر. منع من ظهورها التعذر. Remember that, those last few words? منع من ظهورها التعذر. منع من ظهورها التعذر. Impossibility was the reason why it was prevented from appearing. Okay. Shaykh says, تقدير الحركات is specifically for حروف العلة. Specifically for حروف العلة. Okay? But even the حروف العلة, some of them have it easier, some of them have sounds easier to pronounce than others. Some of them have sounds easier to pronounce than others. Okay. So, he says, well, I've just looked at the text, looking at it and seeing that this is the Shaykh explaining, the point that he's explaining that requires it to be explained in completion as one block. I think that the point that we've got to set the foundation stone to where we've actually reached. So we'll stop there, inshallah. And we'll continue speaking about the variations within the huruf al-illah. Shaykh's going to start speaking in this area now about huruf al-illah. Okay? Feel free to go ahead and read it. Try to understand it. The Shaykh's going to start explaining the different levels of huruf al-illah and the logical, the physical ability to pronounce certain vowel points on certain huruf al-illah. Like it's easier to pronounce it on a ya than it is to pronounce it on an alif. And on an alif is impossible, on a ya, whereas on a ya it's possible, though it's quite heavy. Okay? So the Shaykh is going to explain those variations and those differences, inshaAllah ta'ala. So let me just see if brothers have any questions in particular. If I'm able to answer them, I will. Otherwise, inshaAllah, let's have a look at here. Why fatha on word lafzan and taqdeeran and not dhamma? I see in the actual text, you mean Abu Abdullah? Why did he say lafzan أو تقديرا and he didn't say لفظ أو تقدير? The Shaykh actually explained that I skipped over it, and that was where the Shaykh, he said متعلقة بتغيير. See if I can find the actual part of the text. And this is relating to the verb. Okay? It's relating to the actual verb. It says تغيير أواخر الكلمة تغيير أواخر الكلمة لاختلاف العوامل لفظا أو تقديرا. This is like there's a reason why they call it why it's منصوب. And I can't give you the terminology right now. I'm trying to think of the terminology used, and no, I don't have it in my mind. So I'm not going to be able to explain that to you right now, inshallah. So Allahu A'lam. And inshallah, if I can get the explanation for it, I will. Shaykh, he actually alluded to it in the text in one of these places, but he just said it is متعلق لفظا متعلق بالتغيير. It is لفظا متعلق بالتغيير. Okay? Allah يبارك فيك. Is there any other questions, my brothers? Yani, Abu Abdullah, in general, this question that you just asked about لفظا and تقديرا, they say there is a fi'l which is مقدر. There is a verb which has been implied. Yeah, تغير لفظا وتغير تقديرا. It has been changed. لفظا, so it's مفعول به or something like that. The other question that you asked, is fa'il always marfu'? Answer, absolutely yes. The fa'il is always marfu'. This is a constant in the Arabic language. It doesn't change. But what does change is the alama, the sign that shows you that this is marfu'. That's what changes. Sometimes it is a dhamma zahira. Sometimes it is a dhamma muqaddara. Later on, you're going to find out that sometimes it's an alif, in the case of when it's muthanna, two things, dual. Sometimes it's a waw, as in the case of jam' mudhakkar salim, yeah, muslimuna, that waw there, that is the alamat al-raf'ihi, the alamat al-raf', okay? But the rule is the same, al-fa'il marfu'. Okay, my brothers, if there are no more questions, then we'll stop there, inshallah. Barakallahu feekum. Wallahu a'lam wa sallallahu wa sallam ala nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.